This is TV 47 Weekend with me, Karen Karimi. Good evening and welcome to the program. After government spokesperson retired Colonel Cyrus Aguna during a press briefing days ago called for attitude change among Kenyans in order to reduce the number of accidents on our roads. He said, if the trend on road crashes is not checked, 2022 may set the grim of having the highest number of deaths and injuries across the country. Now, a horrible accident occurred this morning along the Eldoret-Malaba highway after an 11-seater matatu hit a slow-moving truck from the rear, killing and injuring passengers. Details to that stories and other news stories making headlines this Sunday coming up shortly, together with the latest in sports. Tonight, 7 die in a road accident along the Eldoret-Malaba highway.
Ile Nissan ambayo imefinywa na lori ilikuwa imesimama kando ikitaka kuokoa ile ingine yenye imepata accident.
24 others were seriously injured. Also tonight, Kenya Kwanza leaders react to claims that Deputy President William Ruto almost slapped Uhuru in 2017.
Sitting President Kofi, utafanyia nini wananchi ya Kenya?
As Raila's allies roast Ruto over the claims. Plus, Gideon Moi now says the Kalenjin community should not put their vote in one basket in the August polls.
But you do it for the greater good. And you take a position for the greater good.
And Azimio rallies Nairobi and Homa Bay as Kenya Kwanza traverses Meru County in hunting for votes. You can watch us live on our social media platforms on Facebook and Twitter at TV47 Kenya. My Twitter handle is at Karimi_Karen. Mini Bessa is our sign language interpreter tonight. Now, to our top story. 7 people have died with 24 others sustaining serious injuries in a road accident that involved 4 vehicles along the Eldoret-Malaba highway. According to witnesses, the first accident happened when a matatu hit a lorry from behind, killing 2 people on the spot. Zainab Mohammed with more.
The 2 road accidents that happened simultaneously along Eldoret-Malaba highway involved 4 vehicles, killing 7 people and injuring 24 others.
Mwendo wa saa 12 leo asubuhi. Wakati tulikuwa pato tunalala ndio tukasikia sauti kubwa kwa barabara kwa sababu tunaishi karibu na barabara. Na tukakimbia na tukafika hapa tukapiga nduru na watu wengi wakakuja na mashoka na kila kitu. Tukapata hii lori kubwa ya container imefinya Nissan.
Nishtukia tu nagongwa kichwa. Yaani niko chini, siku hata najielewa, nimefinywa kila mahali. Lakini waliweza kuniokoa kidogo. Hii mkono ilikuwa imefinywa kabisa. Sikuweza hata kuinua, lakini walinisaidia hadi nikatoka.
According to eyewitnesses, the first accident happened when a matatu hit a lorry from behind, killing 2 people on the spot. That prompted another matatu to stop at the back in order to assist the injured, and that is when another lorry hit the matatu from behind, killing 5 others.
Ile Nissan ambayo imefinywa na lori ilikuwa imesimama kando ikitaka kuokoa ile ingine yenye imepata accident. So ilipata driver ya hiyo Nissan nyingine ikiwa nje, wanaume walikuwa nje, wamama ndio tulijaribu kuwasaidia hapa sana. Sasa accident vile ilitokea, wanaume wakataka kusaidia kule boma nyingine, ile Nissan nyingine. Hii lori ambayo ni trailer ilikuwa imeteremuka na ikapata Nissan ikiwa kando. Wakati alikuwa anataka kuvuta kwenda pande hii, ikapata magari zingine siko, ikaamua kwenda msituni. Kwenda msituni ikachukua hiyo Nissan na ikaleta mpaka hapo.
Area Chief David Samoei says the road is becoming increasingly dangerous by the day, with a total of 10 deaths in the last 6 months alone.
Karibu muda wa miezi 3 hivi, ajali nyingi sana zimetokea, lakini hii ni major one, hii nimekuwa kubwa sana. Hii ndio kubwa zaidi kuwahi kutokea katika sehemu hii. Lakini tunataka tuombe watu wa Kenya ama Kenya Highway Authority wajaribu kuangalia hapa kuanzia kwa center ya Kosajei mpaka kwa daraja imekuwa red spot ya magari, ajali mingi sana yanafanyika.
Bodies of the deceased persons were taken to the Moi Teaching and Referral Funeral Home. Zainab Mohammed, T47.
Quite unfortunate. Over to politics now. And Baringo Senator Gideon Moi is now advising the Kalenjin community not to put their vote in one basket in the Argus polls. The Kanu chairman says, just like the Mount Kenya region, which has its pointmen at the Azimio and Kenya Kwanza lineups, the community risks being out of government if Deputy President William Ruto loses the election. Andreen Kilemi reports.
Politics of inheritance continues to play out. Baringo Senator Gideon Moi is, however, advising the Kalenjin community not to put their vote in one basket.
We take and have taken.
For me and my supporters, we take and have taken a position. And my position is not popular for many. Do you understand? Even a Christian takes a position that may not be popular to many, but you do it for the greater good.
Moi, who is seeking re-election, however, says that supporting Deputy President William Ruto's bid in the August 9 polls is a dangerous gamble with the future of the Kalenjin people.
And you take a position for the greater good. So today you may think Gideon has taken a position, but you ask yourself, why does he take that position? All I do is greater for all of us.
Moi, who was speaking during a church service at Kabartonjo AIC, said his move may not be a popular opinion among the Kalenjins, further noting that he is well aware of the risks that could arise if the second-in-command William Ruto assumed office as the 5th president of the country.
Something that I don't like, that I'm a Tugen like you. I don't want tomorrow to wake up and all of us are in the bush. Why are Kikuyus clever than us? You see, for them, on this other side of politics, they have Gachagua, and on the other side of politics, they have Kuria. Whichever place the tree will fall, they will win. But for us, we are in casino. You understand? Come what may, just know we have our own son of Chumion. Nothing will happen when I'm there.
In recent times, the two leaders engaged in ugly public spats, but the DP now appears determined to quash his political nemesis in the Kalenjin land, who has accused him of misleading the community. Although he was anointed by his father, the late President Daniel Moi, the Kanu chairman continues to face an uphill task to overturn Kenya Kwanza's presidential candidate as the political kingpin of the vast Rift Valley region. Andreen Kilemi, TV 47.
Also tonight, Azimio coalition leaders slammed Deputy President William Ruto over a leaked audio clip allegedly saying he almost slapped President Uhuru Kenyatta. During a rally in Nzoia, Homa Bay County, where the clip was played by Suna East MP Jeanette Mohammed, the leaders said the clip has shown DP Ruto's true colors while accusing him of lying that he parted ways with Uhuru after the handshake. Apollo Kamau has more.
Mimi nataka kwenda Ichaweri. Wewe sijui sasa mimi sitaki, wacha tuachane na hii kitu. Mimi nikamwangalia, nikamwambia wewe ni vile tu nilikuwa na heshima, ningemchapa kofi.
A leaked audio clip allegedly of Deputy President William Ruto that he nearly slapped the country's Commander-in-Chief President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2017 after the nullification of the presidential election was played by Suna East MP Jeanette Mohammed during an Azimio rally in Homa Bay, drawing the ire of the coalition.
Sasa tukisikia William Ruto alikuwa anataka kupiga kofi si mtu mwingine ila rais wa Kenya. Sisi kama kina mama wa Kenya hatuwezi pigia mtu kama huyo kura.
Now the true colors of William Ruto is coming out. Amesema ya kwamba alikuwa anataka kupiga rais kofi. Leo iko kwa gazeti. Kama unaweza piga rais sitting president kofi, utafanyia nini wananchi ya Kenya?
The DP's admission on behind-the-scenes intrigues after former Chief Justice David Maraga nullified the 2017 presidential election became fodder for the leaders who disputed Ruto's claims that they fell out with the president after the handshake.
I dare him to slap Uhuru. If he's man enough, let him slap Uhuru. Tuko pamoja? Na kama hana heshima ya rais ambaye ndio national authority ya nchi, atakuwa na heshima ya mwananchi wa kawaida? Atakuwa na heshima ya mwananchi wa kawaida? Huyu jamani kama punda, asanti ya punda ni mateke. Kama uko na audacity ya kusema utapiga rais kibao ama makofi, mimi nashangaa nikikupatia jeshi na polisi, utatufanyia wananchi wetu nini wewe?
As a sign of how bad his relationship with the president has become, the clip exposes the president, with the DP claiming the president was on the verge of giving up and retreating to his Ishaweri home. The DP allegedly uttered the words in a meeting with Kikuyu elders in his current residence.
Huyo sasa hii maneno sijui nini, mimi sitaki mimi nataka kwenda Ichaweri, wewe sijui sasa mimi sitaki, wacha tuachane na hii kitu. Mimi nikamwangalia nikamwambia wewe, ni vile tu nilikuwa na heshima, ningemchapa kofi.
The president and his deputy were later to hold a rally at the Bama market where he made the famous "We shall revisit" remark. Apul Kamau, TV47.
Away from that, the Kenya Kwanza Brigade, led by Deputy President William Ruto on Sunday, pitched tent in the Mount Kenya region, popularizing the bottom-up economic model in Meru. The DP-led coalition joined worshippers at St. Thomas the Apostle Church before holding several rallies in the area. The story was produced by Andrew Juma and voiced by Patronila Gorin.
The Kenya Kwanza Brigade Sunday took campaigns to Meru County, drumming up support for the bottom-up economic model in the mountain.
Chama ni UDA, ile ya William Ruto, ile ya TJ, ile ya Kalenjin, hiyo ndio chama yenu. Harambee! Harambee! Nikisema UDA, wera ni wera. UDA wanasema ati sisi tuko na shida na Uhuru Kenyatta. We have no problem with Uhuru Kenyatta. We are the ones who ran his campaign. We are the ones who voted for him. Wale mnajifanya saa hizi ati mnamtetea Uhuru Kenyatta. Where were you when we were voting for Uhuru Kenyatta? Mulikuwa wapi?
The Deputy President-led coalition condemning the competitors in the Azimio coalition of lacking any agenda for the country.
We are not petty like yourselves. Your fight against corruption is a fight against your competitors. Our fight against corruption is a fight against those who have undermined the progress of our country by enriching themselves unfairly. Tunaelewana jameni?
Manifesto yetu ni kuangalia maneno ya wananchi wa kawaida. Tukiangalia mkulima, wanabiashara, tuangalie wale wa shule.
Addressing worshippers at St. Thomas the Apostle Church, the second in command used the podium to slam the handshake partners for the high cost of living in the country.
Sisi ndio tulifanya kampeni ya Uhuru Kenyatta. Sisi ndio tulimpigia kura. Hao marafiki zako wapi akina Madhakarua na Kitendawili hawajawahi kukupigia kura hata siku moja. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Kwani Kitendawili amewahi kupigia kura Uhuru Kenyatta?
Ningetaka nimwambie bwana Kitendawili na watu yako, hii mlima inaitwa Mount Kenya. Hatugawangi kura zetu. Kura zetu tunawekanga kikapu moja. Tulikuwa tunangoja mwezi ya mwisho na ndio imefika. Si uchaguzi ni ya mwezi ujao? Si imebaki siku 36? This mountain inafikanga pale, imebaki wiki 5. Tunaamua kura zote hatugawi. Na saa hii mlima imeongea, imeamua kura yote ni ya William Samoei.
Responding to President Uhuru's comments on Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya, the leaders asked Munya to step aside for accelerating the high cost of living by increasing the cost of unga.
Mimi ningeomba yule waziri Peter Munya, hata kama kuna pahali pengine wakulima wamekosea, hakuna haja ya kuongelesha wakulima vibaya. Mkulima tu anataka pesa mingi kwa bonus yake. Kama ni maneno ya kupunguza unga bei, kupunguza shilingi 2 ndio kutukana kwa Kenya.
President Kenyatta over the weekend praised CS Munya of reforms in the Ministry of Agriculture in his 2 years at the ministry.
Miaka 3 amekuja amebadilisha mambo huko katika agriculture, amebadilisha. Hawa walikuwa huko miaka 8 walifanya nini?
The UDA presidential running mate Rigathi Gachagua used the opportunity to attack Azimio's running mate Martha Karua, asking Kenyans to reject Odinga Karua ticket due to integrity issues hanging around their neck.
Hapa Meru kuna simba wawili. Simba ni moja. Simba ni moja.
The leaders asked Meru residents to vote wisely by eliminating all Azimio candidates in the region in the August polls.
So huyu kitendawili akatafuta kura bahari nyingine.
Now, Kenya leader Martha Karua led Azimio La Umoja coalition on a campaign tour of Nairobi County Sunday, starting her campaigns at Kihumbwini Grounds, Kangemi, after attending a church service. Meanwhile, Azimio presidential flag bearer Raila Odinga embarked on a Homa Bay County charm offensive in count of the strides made by the Kenya Kwanza opponents in Nyanza region in recent days. Micah Gwongo has that report.
As clock ticks towards August 9th general election, the Azimio La Umoja One Kenya coalition has intensified their vote hunt mission to different locations in the country in a bid to boost their 15 million strong agenda. Together with the Nairobi Azimio team, Karua attended an ADC church service at Kihumbwini Grounds in Kangemi, taking on the second in command for lack of agenda as far as fighting corruption is concerned.
Ukiona mtu hana adabu akiomba kura, uelewe ukimpea ndio atakosa adabu kabisa. Lazima uelewe mtu kwa matamshi yake na kwa yale anafanya.
Tunataka miti ambayo haijatoa matunda miaka 9 ambao wamekuwa katika serikali, mkemee mseme inyauke, na sisi tutaunga hiyo mkono kabisa.
Karua said Raila picking her as his running mate was a manifestation that he values Kenyan women and is urging them to stand up and represent themselves.
Muendelee kutuweka kwa maombi, ndivyo hata tukiingia, sababu naona Mungu anaenda kutupanulia barabara tuingie, tuweze kufanya kazi nzuri ya kuinua wananchi.
Last month, Azimio La Umoja One Kenya coalition revealed 16 individuals who will lead its presidential campaigns in Nairobi. Led by Westlands MP Tim Wanyonyi and gender CAS Rachel Shebesh, the team is in charge of popularizing Azimio La Umoja presidential hopeful Raila Odinga's manifesto.
Kania Azimio, we just want to assure you that you will be safe in the hands of Baba na Mama hapa Nairobi.
Na wale watu wa Westlands leo tunataka askofu tuwekelee mikono, hasa kwa sababu ya the big heart of Mheshimiwa Tim Wanyonyi, that today Polycarp Igathe will be the governor of Nairobi County.
Ili saili hata baba ataingia kama rais na Martha Karua kama deputy, wakitendeza makazi ili vijana wapate makazi na wamama wapate makazi, lazima tuwe productive.
Nikisema Nairobi munasema tunavyoitaka Nairobi.
The team of 16 includes aspirants defending their seats, newcomers and those who missed out in ODM and Jubilee primaries.
Na tunakuja kustawisha jamii, tupige umaskini na njaa, tunakuja kuboresha uchumi, na pia tunakuja kuimarisha mazingira.
After the service, Karua and her entourage traversed Kawangware and Ruto wards before stopping over to Marikiti in Starehe sub-county. The Azimio Brigade made their final stopover at Kasarani, urging Nairobi residents to rally their support behind Odinga in the forthcoming general election.
Serikali ya baba iko, kikapu ya baba iko na kitu kwa kila mtu, kwa jamii, kwa watoto, kwa walemavu, kwa wamama, kwa wababa, kwa kila mtu.
Mwezi wa 8 tuamke asubuhi na mapema
tuseme rais wa 5 wa Jamhuri ya Kenya ni Raila Amolo
Meanwhile, in Nyanza region, Azimio la Umoja flag bearer Raila Odinga intensified his vote hunt to seal a long-time good relationship with his die-hard supporters.
That's why they did not talk about corruption when they were launching their manifesto. And the manifesto, there's nothing about corruption. Anybody who has been charged with corruption is being followed politically. To them, anybody who has stolen public property is just being persecuted because of his political beliefs.
Tarehe 9 mwezi ujao, nyinyi mtajitokeza mpigie ndugu Raila. Nimekuja kudhibitisha leo, hebu mnionyeshe kwa mkono kama mtapiga.
1. Ruto is a political dealer while Raila is a political leader. 2. Ruto is a missionary leader while Raila is a visionary leader.
With slightly more than 4 million votes up for grabs in at least 11 swing counties, both Azimio and Kenya Kwanza political nemesis are leaving nothing to chance.
With just 36 days to August 9th general election, both Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition and Kenya Kwanza Alliance have scaled up their campaign strategies to consolidate their vote bases. Mike Kagwongo, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Mike, for that report. Now, Kiambu gubernatorial aspirant on Chama cha Kazi, Moses Kuria, has hit out at President Uhuru Kenyatta over the anger he demonstrated yesterday. Kenyatta yet again slammed his deputy, William Ruto, for what he said was lack of commitment in the government's projects. Now, speaking at the Power of Faith Church in Kiambu Town, Kuria said it was unnecessary for the president to display such antics in front of the public. He urged Kenyatta to sit back and watch as presidential aspirants battle out without any interference.
Continue or the nation grow which...
Niambie rais wetu, jana mliona vile aliongea jana na kidogo alikuwa amekasirika. Kwanza tumwambie relax. Hii nchi tulikuja hapa. Na hii nchi hakuna mtu ataenda nayo. Hata kwa kakuli tutaiacha tu hapa. Hakuna, hii nchi iko hapa bila, hii nchi ni ya Mungu. Na tutaiacha hapa. Pili, rais ameonyesha na ni haki yake katika hiki kinyang'anyiro cha urais. Yeye kama Uhuru Kenyatta ako na yule mtu anapendelea. Na ni haki yake. Lakini leave it within your heart. Chance, space kidogo ya kukubali ya kwamba the rest of us Kenyans we may choose somebody else. Inawezekana namna hiyo. Si ndio? Si bishop anasema yule ni Mungu anaamua. Sisi tu ni kuomba ombi tu. Sasa hii muda imebaki because hata ukisema mimi Uhuru Kenyatta nataka huyu na sitaki huyo. The only difference is by...
Azimio la Umoja coalition is now speaking different voices in the ongoing voter register and transmission row. Now, Makueni Senator Mtula Kilonzo Jr. called on IEBC to use the electronic voter register as stipulated in Section 44 of the Elections Act. His stand now contradicting the stand by his coalition, which wants the coalition to go by the manual transmission as a backup plan. Josh Onsare has that report.
The Makueni senator called on the Wafula Chebukati-led commission to use the electronic transmission for the August polls.
The law that we proposed does not give an option for a person from Hola, a person from Abaswen, a person from Kakuma, a person from Lodwa to come from Lodwa to KICC on presidential elections.
Kilonzo contradicting his coalition position on the transmission of results in the August election. Azimio raised concerns on the status of the KIMS kit and whether the commission will provide GPS coordinates in the 46,000 polling stations, whether the kits will have backup systems, whether the kits have a secure connection, and whether data has been geofenced.
Somebody is saying that you use printed registers. We are saying that system should be in place. The law requires you to have that system in place. so that if anything should fail, it should be there.
What register is loaded in the KIMS kit? Because even if you printed that register and what is in the KIMS kit is what is in the physical register, nobody then needs to worry.
Any manual transmission of results is going to cause us problems.
According to Mutula, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, should try all means to ensure they observe Section 44 of the Elections Act, which states that an integrated electronic electoral system should be used in biometric voter registration, electronic voter identification, and electronic transmission of results.
We also provided for something we call an integrated electoral management system. The kit that is going to be used in our polling stations is supposed to recognize voters, is supposed also to record the number of voters in that polling station, and at the same time, we should be enabled to transmit election results.
Both Kenya Kwanza and Azimio are concerned about the transmission of results after the failed simulation exercise at the Bomas of Kenya.
We refuse that provision because it has an opportunity of mischief in transmission of results. It is the sole reason why the Supreme Court nullified the 2017 presidential elections.
A meeting of the 4 presidential candidates with IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati on the forthcoming general election exposed the fault lines between the 2 main presidential contenders, Kenya Kwanza's Deputy President William Ruto and Azimio's Raila Odinga, in their election wish list, which IEBC must comply with. Joash Onsare, TV 47, Nairobi.
Now, the Council of Catholic Bishops in the country wants the judiciary to put in place measures that will help solve any dispute arising from the 2022 general election in less than 100 days after the election. Meanwhile, the church leaders want President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto to address their differences and unite for the sake of peace in the country.
36 days to the August 9th general election. The Council of Catholic Bishops in the country wants the judiciary to put in place measures that will help address disputes arising from the 2022 general election in less than 100 days after the election. Speaking at Chikoti Catholic Church in Kakamega County, Bishop Joseph Obanyi says that violence always erupts during the election year, and so the judiciary, IEBC, media and church leaders shouldn't favor any political leader.
Kuna wale ambao wataona kama kwamba haki yao haijazingatiwa, na wakienda katika mahakama inatakiwa kuangazia kwa usawa, kuweka haki na ukweli, kwa sababu tunasema katika wimbo wa taifa, haki iwe ngao na mlinzi.
Kuna haja uchaguzi ambao inakuja kwa siku moja, watu wanakuja wanaleta maneno mingi, wanachafua amani, na hiyo kitu uchaguzi itakuja na ipita siku moja. Na watu aidha wapende wasipende, kiongozi atakuwa mmoja. Kama kiti moja inachipigana na watu 4 ama 5, kiongozi atakuwa mmoja. Aidha ni ya rais, aidha ni ya governor, ni ya senator, hivyo ndivyo hali iko. Kwa hivyo mimi nahimiza watu tafadhali katika county, hata katika national huko juu, ambao wanaomba viti za president, lazima tuweke amani kwa sababu amani ni muhimu. Historia imetufundisha ukosefu wa amani na kuwa namna gani. Tukiona vile ilifanyika 2017, 2007, watu wanauana kwa vitu ambao haina maana.
Ningependa kuuliza tafadhali, tukumbuke pahali tuko na jamii na watoto wengine ambao wanatuangalia na wanataka kuona sisi kama watu ambao wana muongozo fulani.
The church leaders are also calling for a ceasefire between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his Deputy President William Ruto over their war of words in public. Their sentiments were supported by their counterparts in Embu County.
Hata ingawa wanaweza kuwa na tofauti kama hizo, sio vizuri kuzidhihirisha kwa Wakenya ambao waliwachagua na kuweza kutusiana au kurushiana maneno, na hawa ni viongozi ambao wanasimamia nchi. Tungependa kusema ya kwamba katika uongozi hata ujao waangalie jambo kama hili. Kiongozi ni yule ambaye anajaribu kuunganisha watu, na yeye mwenyewe lazima aonyeshe huo umoja kabla ya hata kuenda huko nje.
President anaongea mambo yake na deputy wake anaongea mambo ambayo yanaonekana ni tofauti sana. Katika uongozi ambao tuko nao, ukweli ni kwamba hao wawili walichaguliwa miula miwili ili waweze kuongoza nchi hii. Walianza vizuri na siku hizi vile tunaona ni kama mambo hayaendi vizuri sana. Lakini tunataka kusema mambo haya yakiendelea namna hiyo haifai na itujengi katika nchi hii.
Hii ni mambo ambayo haistahili kabisa. Kamwe haistahili. Kwa sababu watoto wetu wakiona haya wanashindwa nao uongozi ni wa aina gani huo huko juu.
Tungeomba wale wanatuongoza Deputy President William Ruto na Rais wetu Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, tafadhali muwe munaongea maneno ambayo ni ya kujenga Kenya, ambayo italeta amani. Mshirusiane maneno katika vyombo vya habari, katika mikutano ambayo inaweza kuleta hasara Kenya.
The church leaders are advising Kenyans to critically look at the manifestos of political parties and only elect leaders whom they believe will address their issues.
This is TV47 Weekend with me, Karen Karimi. You can engage with us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at TV47 Kenya. My Twitter handle is at Karimi_Karen. We take a short break. We'll be back with more stories and sports.
TV47, the home of untold stories.
Despite being visually impaired, he is a jack of all trades. It is our quest to find answers on how to take care of children with special needs and those with disability. You do not need to see musical notes to understand music, but rather to have your soul feel the vibe.
Actually, for us to make a wheelchair, we have to take measurements of the user.
After doing my assessment, I get to know the parent. I get to know the heaviness she's carrying.
Disability comes at different stages of life.
How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga.
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. The next set of millionaires are farmers, as we know agriculture has been and still is the backbone of our economy. As we traverse the different counties to meet different farmers, we ensure to get the story of how they started farming and even how they continue to penetrate the market and overcome the challenges.
Hapa, the reason why nilieka goose na si ducks. Goose, they are very easy to maintain.
A lot of farmers keep on calling, inquiring whether you're supposed to raise some seeds in the nursery or you're supposed to do them directly in the field.
The greenhouse helps us control the temperature because the temperature needs to be between 28 to 32 degrees.
Walk this journey with us every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. It's no secret, construction ain't cheap. But how do we make it affordable? Different individuals are finding ways of cutting down cost by use of pre-stressed slabs other than reinforced concrete, recycling plastics to make pavers.
The brick is stronger, it's cheaper, and it's lighter.
And recycling wastewater in your household.
What happens to my waste from the washroom, the solid waste? All that can break down.
Those are just but a few. Every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. we talk construction.
Welcome back to the program. Now, Murang'a Catholic Diocese Bishop James Maria Wainaina has hit out at Roots Party presidential candidate George Wajackoyah, saying he is unfit to hold such a high seat with his manifestos aimed at legalizing drug usage. The bishop was speaking in Kangari Parish, Murang'a County, during the Family Day event, pointing out that Wajackoyah's agenda of legalizing marijuana was not a good manifesto. The bishop said the manifesto encourages drug abuse and trafficking, terming it wrong and unethical, noting that bang is listed as illegal in the narcotic drugs.
Two items of great concern that are apparently proposed by the presidential candidate are legalization of marijuana and prostitution. Moreover, we know bang is listed as illegal in the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Control Act, Section 3, 2A of 1984. It is unthinkable that a party proposing a candidate to the highest office in the country would propose legalization of marijuana and prostitution. This portrays a high level of depravity of our society.
The Forum for African Women Educationalists has launched a new program which aims at significantly reducing the incidence of teenage pregnancy in Kenya. This is after a number of girls became pregnant during the almost one-year break when schools were closed indefinitely due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the program, dubbed Imarisha Msichana, will be implemented in 20 counties in the country and would later be scaled up to other counties.
During the peak of COVID-19 in the country, a number of girls, especially from informal settlements and villages, were impregnated. This brought setbacks in their lives as some were forced to drop out of school as they embraced responsibilities of being parents. It is this that has led to the birth of a program dubbed Imarisha Msichana by the Forum for African Women Educationalists, which is aimed at reducing cases of teenage pregnancies in the country.
Pimo nikapatikana niko na mimba. Nilianza kuchapiwa hapo mpaka home tukiteremka tu. Sasa by the time hata tunafika home, area mzima ilikuwa ishajua niko na mimba. Haujaambia mtu. Nilichapwa mpaka home. Kufika Nzoia, hii mimba ni ya nani? Nakataa kusema. Niko na huyu mama ataniua. Nikamwambia ni ya huyu Edu. Kaniambia ulianza hata kuongeleshana na mvuta bangi wewe. So akaenda karipoti huyo Edu, huko Dandora kuna watu wanaitwa nyumba 10, akamripoti kwa nyumba 10. Huyo Edu akitoka kazi, hao watu wa nyumba 10 walienda wakamraid. Wakamtandika. Kwani unapea underage mimba? Unajua hiyo ni police case, walimtandika. Hivyo vile alitandikwa, aliachiliwa, so kesho yake ilikuwa mama aende ripoti, akapotea hivyo.
Teenage pregnancy is one of the social ills that affect our country, and the cases seem to increase every day, especially with the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, which further exacerbated girls' vulnerability.
teenage pregnancies continues to be one of the key hindrances to girl child education in Kenya. Some face discrimination in the communities they come from as they are branded bad girls. But through the program, clubs known as Tuseme will be started in schools, and through them, learners will have a platform that will empower them to speak out on challenges they go through as they develop.
Tumeelewana huyo boyfriend wangu, tumeendelea hivyo sasa, asema haya leo utaenda tujaribu kwa mapenzi. Haya, mimi siku 6 tukaenda, siku ya kwanza, ya pili, ya tatu, mwezi sikupata, wa kwanza, wa pili, wa tatu, niko na mimba. Tulikuwa marafiki ndo tukaelewana mpaka tukapata ujauzito.
And we are also trying to see how we can have friendlier policies that can create an enabling environment for these girls to confidently and comfortably go back into school. So it's happening in many other countries, but at different levels. There are those countries that have policies. There are those countries that don't have policies. Where there are no policies, we are working towards establishing those policies.
Imarisha Msichana will run for 3 years from June 2022 to June 2024. The main beneficiaries are teen mothers and adolescents from the ages of 9 to 18 years and young women aged 19 to 25 years. In the framework of the program, young girls will be provided with useful knowledge and necessary skills to be able to fully transition to adulthood and help them become productive members of their communities.
We shall utilize the Empower Us Today platform to work in the identified schools in 20 counties, that is 8 schools per county, where Tuseme and Red Cross school clubs have been established to facilitate digital content focusing on sexual and reproductive health and other emerging topics of need for holistic development of the students.
The program will first be implemented in 20 counties in Kenya, namely Nakuru, Nairobi, Machakos, Elgeyo Marakwet, Kiambu, Garissa, Bungoma, Kakamega, Nyeri, Migori, Murang'a, Kajiado, Narok, Homa Bay, Trans Nzoia, Nyandarua, Busia, Meru, Siaya and Turkana, and will later be scaled up to other counties. Sharon Baranga, TV 47.
Thank you, Sharon, for that report. Now, Nzoia gubernatorial race continued to gain momentum 36 days to the August 9 polls, with Kiminini MP Dr. Chris Wahungu Wamalwa's gubernatorial bid receiving a huge boost after Sabawat Council of Elders endorsed him for the county's top job. Now, the council said after intense interrogation, Wamalwa emerges as the best suitable candidate among the 7 contestants to take over from Governor Patrick Khaemba, who is exiting the stage. Wamalwa is battling it out with former Rift Valley Regional Commissioner George Natembeya, among others.
Kwa niaba ya jamii ya Wasapawut ambayo wameketi hapa leo kwa mkutano wa leo, ambaye tumeamua ya kwamba kiti ya governor itakuwa ni Chris Wamalwa. Na pia ile kitu tumeamua ni kwamba sisi wana wa Trans Nzoia wote kwa jumla, jamii zote ambayo wako katika Trans Nzoia hii, tutaishi kwa amani na tuhubiri, na tunaomba wanasiasa wote wahubiri amani kwa jamii zote ambayo wanaishi kwa Trans Nzoia, na tunaunga mkono wadia Kenya Kwanza. Sisi tumeamua tutakuwa upande wa Kenya Kwanza.
And in sports, Kenyan sprinter Ferdinand Omanyala, who continues to dazzle the world in the 100-meter race and the 4x100-meter relay races, is a phenomenal athlete who is gradually dominating over athletics globally. Our sports reporter Lucky Heriano had a sit-down with Omanyala, who narrates that he once aspired to be a renowned rugby player before flourishing in athletics. Let's have a listen to Omanyala's journey in the following interview.
Omanyala ni 26-year-old sprinter. Before nilikuwa nacheza rugby. Nilikuwa nacheza rugby pale high school. So nikatoka high school nikakuja University of Nairobi, bado kwa nacheza rugby. So hapo kwa hiyo harakati ya kucheza rugby kuna boys akaniambia unaweza fanya poco sprint. Sawa, mimi nashangaa jamaa ananiambia nini cause Kenya inanga sprinters. So nikasema acha nijaribu. So mimi nika download calendar of events ya Athletics Kenya 2016 hiyo sasa. Nikaenda kujaribu my first event pale Mumias. Kwenda pale nikaperform poa, so from there foundation ikaanza kuwa build up. Yeah. Nilikuwa napenda sana Johan Blake juu ule Mjamaica, juu endo the second fastest athlete in the world sahi. So nilikuwa na look up to yeye cause napenda vile ana interact na watu, napenda vile anakimbia. Alafu pia mwili zetu ziko karibu sawa. So huyo ndo nilikuwa na look up to. Kitu naweza sema ni sport inataka a lot of discipline na a lot of consistency. Huwezi come training leo alafu uanze kusikia uchungu seme nitarudi tena next week. Inataka ukam every day. Nimekuwa na train Monday to Saturday for the last like 6 years consistently. So inataka discipline, inataka consistency, inataka a lot of hard work because si sport yenye utaenda tu kwa njia ukimbie alafu come compete because inahitaji a lot of gym sessions, inahitaji a lot of hill works, inahitaji a lot of jumping because of your hizo joints, alafu pia training tu kwa kijumla. Yeah. Kwanza the recent mini African champion, nilienda Mauritius tukapata hiyo medal, gold medal ya Africa. Alafu pia mini African record holder, alafu number 8 in the world all time. So ukiweka hapo Usain Bolt, ukiweka kina Gatlin, niko number 8 hapo, top 10 in the world. Alafu yeah, hizo ndo alafu hii mwaka sasa imevunjwa jana na Fred Kali, nilikuwa the top in the world kutoka Mei ile tulikimbia pale Kipkeno Classic. So hizo ni vitu najivunia sana na bado tunaendelea kuongeza kwa hizi vitu tunaachieve. Simbele ni athlete mnoma, ni bro yangu pia in quotes because si ongea, na ni athlete pia respectable. Ni msame kwa hii sport for as long as mimi nimekuja juzi, yeye amekuwa hapa kutoka kitambo. So ni main competitor but niliweza kumpiga pale, hajainishinda in short, hajainishinda. So sidhani kama atanishinda tena but respect iko, tukiingia kwa track no respect, tukiingia kwa track ni job, kuna kuongeleshana, respect tutachukua finish line. Mimi ukula kila kitu, unajua mimi ni Mluya so sibagui but so long as meal iko balanced, si tunakula ugali mingi, unasahau kula proteins, unasahau kula vitamins, alafu pia fruits hapo for hydration ya muscles pia ni muhimu, but generally si tunachagua, si kima portions na nini, mimi ukula mpaka nishibe. Tunaenda Oregon in like 3 weeks for the World Championships. Hiyo ndo the ultimate goal season. So my target ni kupata medal because hakuna no African ame medal kwa World Championships. Mimi ni mwanafunzi University of Nairobi, nafanya chemistry pale Chiromo. Alafu pia mimi ni askari. Mimi ni askari police inspector, nilipewa job, so pia hiyo ni job. So hizo ni vitu mbili pia nafanya.
Naam. Really good start from Bromell in the white vest. Bromell snatched a foot out of the field there. Gatlin trying to go with him, and on the near side, Omanyala trying desperately to come back to him. Just misses out there by a few inches, but the pair...
Faith Cherono and Weldon Langat were earlier today crowned the champions of the 13th edition of the Nandi Road Race held in Kapsabet Town, Nandi County. In the women's category, Cherono crossed the finish line first in a time of 34 minutes and 20.89 seconds, while Daisy Kimeli and Zena Kipto came in second and third, respectively. Meanwhile, in the men's category, Langat emerged victorious after finishing first in time of 30 minutes and 9.89 seconds, as Titus Kiprono finished second ahead of Amos Kiplagat, who settled for third. The competition saw the winner of the race rewarded with 80,000 Kenya shillings each.
Ilikuwa ni hard course but niling'ang'ana tu kwa sababu mazoezi yenye nimefanya nikasema hadi nikimbie. Watu walianza kuweka juu base, mimi nilienda tu hivyo, sikurudisha chini, nikaenda tu hivyo.
Sana kwa mbio ya leo, haikuwa rahisi lakini niling'ang'ana mpaka nikakuwa number 2. I'm so happy for today's race.
Moving on, the 6th round of the Kenya's Basketball Federation National League progressed earlier today at the Nyayo Stadium Indoor Arena as Umoja secured a 77-68 victory against Zetek Titans. Now, Zetek Titans dominated the match in the first, second and third sets before Umoja made a remarkable comeback in the fourth quarter to draw the scores level as they forced the match into overtime, where they won narrowly. Meanwhile, in the women's category, Equity Hawks secured a 54-41 win over Strathmore Swords.
At the end of the day, we have been losing a lot of games, and so for this one we've been preparing mentally, physically, and also just trying to get in shape too. So for today, we just kept on the game. We knew that we had it. We can't really explain much more than that, but we just kept on the game. We made sure that they didn't give us a very big lead. Yeah, defensive rebounds, and also if you saw today's game, we were picking our guys, the 1, 2, and 3 high. Yeah, so they weren't comfortable with the ball so much so that they could dump it under the rim.
The last round of fixtures in the regular season of Kenya Volleyball Federation National League culminated earlier today as General Service Unit recorded a 3-0 win over Kenya Prison at the Nyayo National Stadium. Now, GSU, which has been on a good run of form in their recent matches, dominated the game from the onset and emerged victorious with scores of 52-23, 25-18, and 25-23. The other fixtures in the league saw Trailblazers extend their winning run as they overcame Prison Rift Valley in sets of 3-1, while Vihiga thrashed Nyanza in sets of 3-0.
Okay, what I can say is that we are ready for the playoffs. We are training so hard to make sure that we retain the title because it's not that easy. We train from morning and evening hours. So we are doing our best so that we can retain this cup. I can't say that all the teams that have come to playoff and we are better than them, but it depends how you train and the dedication that you have.
Train, nothing wrong has happened because we are in the playoffs. The most important thing, we have 2 weeks to train, and I believe we're going to rectify our mistakes.